Yeah, 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 yeah. Welcome to me casa, make yourself at home, do your do. Welcome to my pad, this your lab, go create your movie. I got a crib by the wall.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to 99 Miles Per Hour with me, your host, Perci Garner, where we talk about life and sports and everything in between. I'm excited to, for our first episode, and I got someone special in the house for the first one, and I appreciate him coming in for the first one, with me having no experience. He's trusting me to come in here and have a good time. But in case you're wondering, our guest is the Jamal Johnson. There's a lot of Jamal Johnsons out there, but this one is the 330-44622 now. Jamal Johnson. We'll get into that a little later. But happy to have you here, man. How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. And, I always like to help out my boy Perce, and we grown pretty close over these last couple months, with my new career starting with you.
Yeah, and we'll get into that as well. Jamal, basically I'm just going to go through and kind of get to know you as you grew up and played football and did all that stuff in T County, just because I've heard about you, but I never really had the one-on-one, experience. So obviously I was older than you. We ain't going to go into how much older I am, but I didn't get to watch you as much, but I did watch some of your highlights before this. So we'll get into a lot of that as well. But, is there any shout outs you wanted to give out, to maybe a future I ain't gonna spill nothing. No, I ain't gonna say nothing.
No, always. Just a shout out to my whole family, and then especially Kaylee Schweitzer. She's been my girlfriend for a very long time, and then, we're in the right direction to,
it's about that time.
About that time, absolutely. But other than that, man, just hope everyone's doing well and staying safe and stay positive out there.
Yeah, I was, us being, fellow colleagues at ComDoc, it's been a little weird not having a lot of time together in the office. But how's COVID and the being locked down treating you? I know your internet's a little shady out there at Rich's house, but
yeah, living out in the country of Dover, up on the hill, it's awesome, but the internet is a little shaky at times, but I get to go outside. We have a lot of land that we can go out and enjoy this, so get some fresh air. But other than that, I do miss being out the office, cracking jokes with Perce, or riding in the car with him, and talking old sports stories, or tell him how I can hit his fastball even today.
Hey, you might be able to test that out here. I'll wait for my arm to get out of shape more to give you more of a chance. But although I'm enjoying this back and forth here, we can get into, I kind of want to, at least start getting to some of the questions and some of the things I'm curious about. Hopefully other people are as well. But I kind of just want to start, with, we're not going to go in chronological order here. I just want to get into basically playing football in high school with New Philly, playing for Coach Dennison, and obviously Dover, Philly, they're good programs. Not many people come in as a freshman and make an impact. I think maybe you, Daniel Lift, and, maybe some people in the past were able to do that. But just talk about, how was that for you coming in and having to make an impact right away?
And like you said, it's definitely not something that everyone does, but it was something that was definitely in the back of Coach Dennison's mind. I think he realized the talent that I had, and what he was going to do is probably ease me into a position, give me some plays here and there, but then injury happened, that happens to a senior back that was pretty good, and then he missed some weeks, and I kind of took over the position as tailback full time, and then Dennison didn't really look back and was just like, hey, let's ride with this kid. He got a high ceiling, and I wish I would have known that, because my off-season training I was always a working hard kid, but I was a basketball player too. So I did summer camp and basketball. I was working on that, and I didn't get to do the time in the weight room as much as I probably should have, knowing that I was going to be a varsity starting tailback. So, but I had my bumps and bruises, but it was definitely exciting time, a learning experience.
Nice. Well, that's just a good sign of a good program, as much as I don't like to say it, but no, it's a good football program. And just to have someone like you be able to step in for a senior, I don't know, not too many schools around here can say that. But another thing I want to talk about is just, you talk about, you not being in the weight room as much as you want because of basketball. Basketball was my favorite sport. I wasn't as good as you or anything like that, but I loved basketball. But just talk about, you being, what do you claim as your height? What are you, 5'10", 5'11"? No, I'm joking. I saw on the internet 5'6", 5'7".
Hey, I'm a solid 5'5" without shoes on. Solid.
All right, I like it. Not too many people go lower. I like it.
I am. I'm legit 5'5". I mean, I like to wear like some suede boots that give me a couple inches that made me look like I'm 5'7", but
nice.
I'm 5'5", and you're going to get a mighty 5'5". But
I like it. That's the one thing I was going to know. I was going to say, so I never really got to see you in person, which is a shame, or see you play in person, which is a shame. But, I was off playing baseball. But I watched some of your highlights, and, I anticipated you being, the little back that's, shaking everybody and, trying to avoid as much contact as possible. But you didn't really run like that. I mean, to describe your mentality as a running back and the new Philly Quaker offense, the fighting Quaker offense that you like to give the running backs the ball.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Philly, growing up, always had a power running game, and then I knew whenever I got in as a freshman that we kind of stuck to that, more of a power running. Then as I got older in high school, we started doing a little bit of spread, but our main focus was, hey, we're gonna run the ball, power, and I always had to have a physical mentality just to be successful. And our opposing coaches, like Coach If and all those, they always said, like, he runs like he's 6 foot, 200 something pounds. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people that did not get to see me play, and they got to see me play for the first time, they were kind of impressed with that, because they thought, like what you said, he's a smaller guy, he's just quick, he just avoids contact, and he doesn't go at the middle much. But that was my forte. I kind of liked it because I love the pain of it and the hitting and being physical, but it does wear you down as the season goes on. You definitely have to take care of yourself and give yourself the right rest, because, whenever you get into a long season, even like you going into week 10 and you're a guy that carries it a lot, you can feel your body and you can see how you change a little bit from the beginning of the season to the end. It's just, your kind of legs are worn down. We're all human. We get worn out and broken down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Football's a physical game. Not that I experienced a lot of the physical contact. I had a great line of scrimmage at Dover, so I didn't really, I can't really, I guess agree with how, the pain and stuff goes on. I mean, as a sophomore, I was a receiver and I blocked a lot. But other than that, junior, senior as quarterback, I was kind of baby if we take out the Maslin game. And I think I got sacked like 45 times in that game. But one thing I also want to talk about is just, man, like a couple things I didn't know. So obviously I said I watched your highlights and this your balance. And one of the things that a lot of people don't, I guess, I'm sure you never had like a young kid or one of the parents of your teammates come to you and like, Jamal, man, I love the way you finish runs. So the one thing I watched in your highlights is it seemed like every run was a touchdown. And I know that's not true, but it's just like weird. Like the way you're able to stay up, take contact, finish runs, no matter what it was. I've seen extra efforts where it looks like you're going down and you're just able to contort your body or just make it happen where you get in that end zone. I mean, What was your, when you came close to the end zone, what was that mentality?
It was like, I'm not getting stopped. It was just like, I'm going to go through a brick wall. I'm going to fall forward, jump, dive, spin. I mean, I'm going to try to get that touchdown as much as possible. But that's the thing is, it's just how you run. And you got to have a good lean. You got to stay low. And my whole thing was, I didn't want to take the big blows. I didn't want to take the knockout blows. I didn't want to, a good player to hit me on my chest or, tear up my legs. So I run with a low pad level and always had a forward lean. And I think that's why I could bounce off the tackles and, stay up whenever people thought I can, was down. But
Well,
it just takes training too, man. It takes some ability and working hard.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you being Ohio high school, top 10 all-time rusher, that's got to feel good. And how did you coaching tailbacks now at Dover, which is a little weird, but we might talk about that a little later. You being coach at Dover and, coaching the running backs, and obviously the offense at Dover is a little bit different than Philly and what you played with Denison. But you coaching, how was that? How do the players look at you, you being so young and so successful? When you played, did they look at you as like, oh man, this is Jamal Johnson, I got to listen to him? Or are they like, oh, this Jamal dude, he don't know what he's talking about. It's a different game now,
No, it's definitely good to have a good resume with you, and to have the coaches that I coach with definitely back that up and say, hey, if you guys should take good advice from Jamal, because he was, one of the best to do it. Yeah. So that is exciting, and the kids are excited that I coach them up. And I tried to just look at all the kids and see what their strengths are. I know that, not everyone's gonna run like I did and have the same stuff. Some are gonna have a different ability and better, or whatever it may be. So I just coach to their strength. Is if you're a strength back and stuff, and then I say, hey, this is what you do. Your agility is not as good, and this is how you can improve on that to make you even a better back. But your strength and the way that you run, your power is great. You got great pad level. You run with a good lean, and now if we can just get you to avoid some hits, just imagine how deadly you can be. So you got to just figure out what's right for the kids and what best fits them, and don't try to get them to do something that they just can't do. And I think that's where I strive as I just say, hey man, this is where you succeed. Let's work on this. In the off season, let's get you better at the other things. But right now, man, let's focus on your strength. Let's get you, if you're a fast kid, let's get you on the edge, and that's what you like to do. If you're a power back, let's get you up the middle, Yeah.
So. Yeah, I was going to say that's very important to know as a young kid. And obviously you do now, and as an adult, you grow and you mature, you understand not trying to do too much, whether it's not in sports or in life. If you try to do too much, you're going to wear down. It's not going to work out. So that's good advice, come from Jamal to work, to capitalize on your strengths. I just want to ask you about, and you don't have to get into the details if you don't want, but I'm just curious, now you're coaching under Coach Ift, how does, Coach Denison and Coach Ift compare? Where are they similar and where are they different?
Well, they're both, really, really good coaches. I mean, the best.
You're supposed to say that. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm dead serious. The best in the area. I mean, it's 1 and 2. I mean, in the programs speak for themselves. I mean, I think Denison, where the difference is, I just think that he was a little more. And I've only been around IFT just a few years.
No, don't sugarcoat it. Just say what you're about to say.
I said I only been around IFT these last few years, So I heard that, he kind of calmed down a little bit, but where I was Denison, he was a little more energetic, a little more like hyper, like, will get in you and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it, it's not like that, but if I think is a little more laid back and kind of, hey, his players are like, hey, we already know. You don't even got to tell me, coach, because I already know what you demand, and I don't got time to mess it up. And then how they both prepare. I think that's how they say. I mean, Denison definitely goes the extra mile and make sure that everybody's, dialed in and prepared for their opponent. And then IFT is the same way. I mean, he's a genius as well and comes up with great things. And then I think IFT also, where they're a little different is, I mean, trust is a little more. I mean, and the coaches around him, and trust is like, hey, I brought you in to do this. I trust you to do the job to best of your ability. And I think Denison does the same, but I think there's a little difference in the level.
Gotcha. Well, nice. Well, I love to hear that, the little tidbits, because obviously I have not much experience with Denison. I know he game planned for me well, and I didn't like his game plans against us, but Now, I know you got a love for kids with, our boss, Steve Van Horn. I know you have taken over some of his kids' basketball practices, and just talk about, your future in coaching and how you plan to, incorporate that and get deeper in the community. It seems like you want to be a part of this T County community and help out as many kids as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the most important thing is it's the kids, because I was in that shoes, and I've always loved whenever an ex-athlete or a current athlete would come to practice, and especially if it was like the well-known ones that you would go and wear their jerseys on Friday nights or whatever. And I remember Tyler Dudermuth doing it for me, Richard Sandylands, those guys doing it for me. So I was like,
who are those guys? No, I'm checking out
exactly.
And I know exactly who they are.
Yeah. So I was like, that's awesome. And I want to give that back to those kids and give them experience. So whenever I get to go and I get to see me changing, kids' lives just by, helping them, guiding them in a sport that they love, and let them know like, hey, you can be as good as you want to be as long as you just put the effort in and go the extra mile. And then the younger kids, it's so much fun, just seeing those, and then seeing kids want to, because I think nowadays kids are so addicted to video games and technology and stuff, and then they miss the outdoors, like backyard football games that I used to play with my buddies, pick up basketball games, all that stuff. And then whenever you get to see kids do that just, puts a smile on my face, because we need more kids to be doing that, get outside and play and, get better.
Yeah, I was going to say being outside, and obviously I'm a big, tech nerd and gamer and all that stuff. But when I was growing up, I wasn't as much. I was outside, digging holes in fields and playing golf or playing pickup. We had a name for what we called the pickup football games, but you can't say it nowadays. But basically, that's where my competitive nature grew from, And I don't know if this is right, but I feel like I was I played harder in those type of games.
Right, man. That's how it was for me as well. It's I was blessed. I had a second family of mine, the Corns' family, which you're very known of. Tyler Corns, was some years older than me, and he was an older brother that I didn't have, and I would always go and play basketball with all his, older friends, pick up basketball and stuff. And that's what made me so much better, is I was so competitive and I wanted to play, and I didn't let them take it easy on me. I would talk trash. And then by the time I got into 8th grade, I kept on playing with them. And then I think by 8th grade, it was okay, this dude's one of the better players.
Yeah. Well, it's important to have that. My brother was 10 years older than me. I couldn't even make him take it easy on me. He was definitely a little rough on me, but obviously it helped out. For you, being in this community and working at ComDoc now with me, I guess before that, you just in brief, describe your experience at Mount, being able to play. You played early there as well, from my understanding, and just talk about that, and then how Alliance compares to the beautiful big city of Dover and New Philly.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity that I got to play at Mount for a little bit, and as a freshman, I got some good time, and then sophomore year also, and won the national championship. And I was on some great teams there, and just, heck of a talents. And, Mount Union speaks for itself, even being Division III. There's guys that get shots at the pros year in, year out. And you go there and you're like, man, how is this person not on a Division I team? And it's just, they're off by a couple inches or a little slow on their 40 at the time. But it was definitely great, and it made me a better football player and a better man as well. And then Alliance compared to T County.
I spent a little time in Alliance.
Oh my, man. It's definitely different. Alliance has its characters. But the nicest thing in Alliance is Mount Union. It's you kind of, I got the opportunity to live off campus with some friends and stuff. And we didn't live in the best part of Alliance. Just say that. I mean, there was some crime there and stuff, but
you gotta save money. Eh?
Yeah, you gotta save money, and it was like, it was like one of the nicer houses there. Okay. I really liked the house. I went to some of my buddies' houses that were closer to campus, and I'm like, dude, you're paying that much for this? Like, I can understand why, because they were in a safer part and it was closer to campus. Yeah. But I mean, I like Alliance. Would I ever live there? No.
But you came back to T County.
Came back to T County because I think T County's a good place. It's a good place to raise a family. And
oh, you hear that, Kaylee? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I came back. My wife, Krista, was she wanted to go, a lot of different places. And I was like, nope.
Right.
We're moving back to Dover.
Yeah. And I mean, so far we're going to be living in Dover or somewhere in T County
or New Philly,
or wherever. But we haven't really decided because she's not too fan sometimes of the country as well. Gotcha. She wants to, be in town where she can get the fastest Wi-Fi ever.
She's like me then. Okay.
That's all she wants right now. Then I think like just working from home definitely brought that more out of her. And she, at least once a day has a comment on that. And it's just like, hey, we can't change that. Can we move on right now? Yeah. Because it is, if we could make it work, her dad obviously would have the top of the line stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it just doesn't work out that way right now. So.
Yeah. Well, she works at Novogradic as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's nice. Now, little quick transition into let's go back. So, you're growing up. So I want to get into some other things. Obviously, we talk football a lot, and we know you grew up playing football. Was that your favorite sport growing up?
Actually, it wasn't. It wasn't. Basketball was my favorite sport, and I played a lot of it. I was on like a national AAU team, and I played, and we traveled all over, and we won a lot of games and championships, and that was, I played basketball from all the way early November all the way to June, July. I would play 100 games a year plus, and that was just a game that I saw myself improve every single year, just get so much better. And that's what was fun, because football was cool, but it was just peewee and, middle school. Hey, you get 7 games a year. That's it. And then peewee, it was like, I had 6th grade. I was like, man, I don't think I got tackled like twice.
Just wasn't, wasn't fair competition.
No,
we'll put it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't have that problem. I was a late bloomer. I wasn't good at football until my junior year. So, but
the speedy feet.
Yeah, we won't get into that. Oh yeah, speaking of that, you ran a 4.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't run that. But so growing up, obviously, you said basketball was your favorite. It was my favorite as well. I kind of want to get into. T County, there's not a lot of black people like me and you. So just describe how that was from you. Was that an issue at all, or were you just...
Bro, I'm just going to tell you, man, where I came from, because I wasn't born here, man. I grew up, my mom was adopted by Mennonites, so I grew up in Mount Eaton, Ohio. For people that don't know that, that is Amish to its core. Okay. I mean, Mount Eaton. I mean, nice. I went to a school where every person there was Amish. So being black and moving to T County, I mean, I was already sticking out like a sore thumb, and I'm light skinned. I'm just saying, but I mean, I didn't. Our whole family did. I mean, living in Mount Eaton, we wore different clothes than everybody else, and I mean,
so this was
50 shades. We're 50 shades of black in my family. Like we got light.
That's how my family
super
is.
light skin, dark skin, super dark. We got it all, bro. So,
I'm not classified in the super dark. I'm more like milk chocolate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I like to tell myself. But Okay, so it was like when you come to T County, it was like I don't want to say an upgrade, but it was like almost like a relief sort of.
It was a little more diverse, yes, for sure. And it was good, very welcoming. And then my mom always was just like, hey, you got to make a name for yourself. You have to. I mean, we don't have the money. We don't have all that to where we're going to come in and already have a name for ourselves, all this and that. You got to make a name for yourself. So that's what I did. And then, of course, whenever you're, and behind closed door, of course, people are going to talk and do all that. But to my face, really, I mean, I was treated like a king. I mean, they really liked me and never felt uncomfortable in any situation like that. But
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that is one thing. We love our sports at this place. So if you're in sports, we can overlook a lot of things.
Right. Absolutely.
But I will say with my family, you said, you have to your mom said you have to make a name for yourself. With me, my mom and dad kind of already laid the foundation for me. They both were great. My mom would get on because I wasn't as great as basketball as she was. Mm-hmm. And then my dad, we have different builds. He's, he ran track in college. You'll never see me on track.
No, nope. Not.
Yeah, so I got I was a little bit bigger. So, but B coming up, I got the same name as my dad and my grandpa. So, just talk about was that pressure?
Well, fitness Perce we're gonna see on the track. I think Dover's track's gonna see you burn some rubber.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to go out there when no one else is there, so hopefully no one sees me.
You're getting a new workout equipment in the house.
The garage home gym.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Perce is gonna come out of retirement. The Steelers need a quarterback, so
wow,
we can pick him up.
Retirement.
Yeah,
okay.
We can pick him up.
Yeah, I'll play for Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, you could just sit back there, and you and Big Ben are kind of built the same a little bit.
Actually, I do weigh the same as him now, but he's like 8 inches taller.
Yeah,
but no, I'll be Neil O'Donnell's Cordell Stewart. Yeah. you guys don't even know about them? Are you guys old enough for that?
I know Cordell Stewart, man.
Actually, let's talk about that. We're both Steelers fans. Mm-hmm. How's that being in this area, being a Steelers fan? Because I know it's rough for me. I got an excuse, though. My dad was, and my dad went to school with Jack Lambert, and they were winning. The Browns didn't even have a team when I started caring about football. So, what's your excuse?
So, basically, it's kind of the same. I mean, my grandpa, my dad, my uncle are all Steelers fans, and my mom, and it's just like I was grown up into it. It's just
so both your parents were Steelers fans.
Yeah, both of them are Steelers fans, and then it is definitely difficult sometimes because Rich is a big Browns fan. Rich,
even though he coached me for the Steelers, I played for the Pee Wee Steelers. Exactly. He was my coach.
Yeah, exactly. He still has. Actually, I mean, he is a big Browns fan and he loves his Browns and stuff. But whenever the Browns and Steelers aren't playing, he'll root for the Steelers. And in the playoffs, because
Browns don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, so he roots for the Steelers. So that's kind of cool. Is like we can cheer for the same team, but whenever it's game day, Browns versus Steelers, man, it's
over.
Oh, dude, whenever we win, he just doesn't talk.
My parents, they might have split up for this reason, but my mom would be the type of Browns fan where she'd wear her Browns pajamas to the mall. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? And my dad...
She made it known.
Yes. And then my dad, he had some outrageous Steelers gear that he would wear, so...
Did your mom have the old school Letterman jacket, Browns jacket?
No, my dad had the Steelers old school Letterman's jacket.
Yeah, that's a classic.
But my mom had the pajamas, the old Jim Brown logo with the...
And, so I love it. I just love it because the Browns fans, they can say a little bit, but then they're getting better. They, series went 1-1 this past season, which was exciting. I actually went to both games. So the game in Cleveland was fun, and all the incidents that happened, but I just like to see a good rivalry back, and it makes football just so much more fun whenever you're like, we don't know who's going to win. Both teams are evenly matched, and it's
But let's be honest, though. I mean, the Steelers had a no team. They just had a coach. Now they had a defense. We'll give them a defense.
We had no quarterback.
And the Browns are hyped up. Oh my gosh, we got Odell Beckham.
Yeah, and the Browns loaded that team, and they did and stuff. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the Browns. it's going to be another good season for them. I think 6-10 again for them.
That's a good season. 0-16 or whatever they were. No. But
watch, all my Browns fans are gonna write that down. They're gonna send me, "Hey, we're betting on it." But Big Ben's back, and I think playoff Steelers are coming back to help with that defense. So it's gonna be if football does come back, we're gonna keep it safe.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I know at Commdoc we're playing it slow, even when DeWine lets us go back, we might not rush back because we've been doing business okay from the distance. But
Perci making all them sales.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he had a good week last week. Give it up.
But Jamal, so you're pretty new at this. Is this so we can I guess I was going to ask you about role models.
Go ahead.
Who are your quick role models from New Philly?
From New Philly, quick role.
They don't have to be athletes.
All right.
So if Dave Corns was one of them.
Oh, of course, man. You know that, of course. I mean, he was just an excellent guy that, just taught me a lot about sports and, was always there. And then, of course, my mom. My mom raised five kids. Dang. And then she just worked her butt off as well. And then my stepdad, he was around a lot and he did a lot of hard work and put up with all five of us. I mean, not eight. And that's what crazy is. The best thing is man, not too many dudes go into a relationship with a woman that knowing that she already has 5 kids, and none of them kids are his. So, I mean, just for him, and they've been together for, they just had an anniversary. I'm sorry, my numbers are messed up, but
that's all good.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time. I mean, he's been
as long as you know Kaylee and your
exactly. That's the only one that matters. And then he's been a part of my life for a long time. So great guy, and I would just say, man, those 3 people definitely, and my grandfather that he lives up in Jackson, and he worked hard and set a good foundation. Was a very successful businessman and. I mean, that's kind of like a footstep that I kind of want to follow as well. So,
and that's leading into my next question. I was going to say, I know we didn't get through all the role models. I know I'm probably on the list, but
you always first,
But do you, real quick before we go into your potential and future calling in the career and in future career, did you look up or were you too young for like C. Grant and guys like that?
Oh, I was a little too young. Obviously, I know.
Were you born when he was playing at Philly?
Because I was born. Yeah,
what was he like 98?
Yeah.
Were you born 95?
95. But I wasn't around then.
Oh yeah, true. You were Mount Eaton, baby.
Yeah, I was down there running with the Amish. Man.
Yes, let's go.
I was playing baseball. I was doing it all.
I would love to see a class picture.
Oh my goodness, bro! And I just to get off topic real quick,
no, we only do on topic discussions on this podcast. Go ahead.
So my dad came. My real dad came to my school. He was just coming to see checkups. He's like, all right, let me go see how my son's doing. He comes and sees where I'm going to school at, and he asks my mom, like, where do you have my son at right now? Like, is this? Are you kidding me? And everyone was great. I mean, people are, they're so friendly. They're nice and stuff, but. Like you said, man, I'm wearing, South Pole and all this stuff. And I mean,
for those of you who don't know, South Pole is that's balling on a budget gear back in the day.
Yeah, it was. I had all that. I
had the South Pole too.
I had the baggy shorts that made me look like I had jeans on. I don't know.
Yeah, that's back when jorts were in. I haven't seen jorts in a while.
I had Jordans. I had it all. I'm dead serious.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Real ones, of course, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my mom shut that down since I got into adult sizes, so I didn't know how it was.
The 5s.
Oh, you remembered it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of Jordans on sale in my basement. That don't mean come rush me and steal them. If you want to, beg, borrow, and deal, we can do that. But anyways, so yeah, you're too young for that crowd. I'm showing my age. But a couple things I want before we end. Being in Dover and all that stuff. I'm not sure about the Phillies coaching staff, but I know a couple of them go to my church. But just how's your spiritual life? one-on-one with God, or
Yeah, I
are
mean,
you where you want to be, or obviously you always want to?
always want to grow more spiritually, and I think a lot of people just say that, but then the real ones definitely take the time to commit and give the time back to the Lord that He deserves, of course. And then I go to New Point Church with Schweitzer's family and everything. So definitely
Pastor Mason?
Yeah, okay. Dwight Mason. Yeah, great pastor. Always has great messages. Just a great speaker, and calls it how it is. And sometimes he makes you gut check yourself, and which is good.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's the best.
That's what you need.
And I think I definitely grown. Definitely over since I was in my teens. That was kind of like my grandma was always trying to get me into it more, but I was a teenage kid, would much rather sleep in or, do all that stuff. And then whenever I got to college, Mount Union, I started to do like a little youth group thing, and that was very good. But Nate, hope he's doing well. Haven't talked to him in a while, but he definitely, brought it more into my life. And then I grew more with my grandma, because I was still doing some school. So I would do Bible studies every Wednesday with her while I was finishing up school.
Nice.
And then, I would spend the night up at school with her on Wednesday, go to class on Thursday. And then on Sundays, we would all hop in the truck and go to New Point Church. And I obviously, I want to grow more. And I think this time has definitely made me, turn to God more and trust in Him, and, read more of Scripture, and, dive more in my daily devotions and stuff. And sometimes it takes stuff like this to happen.
Yeah.
This is because I just know this isn't a time to turn away from God. This is a time to bring Him, closer to you, and,
Yeah, I mean, it's a time to rely on Him. A lot of times, we like to have control in our lives. We like to control everything. It is our lives. It's our lives. But the most important thing is once you start having a relationship with Him, then you realize it's really His, and you gotta surrender. That's because when you're growing up, you don't know too much. You're sitting there playing tic-tac-toe, eating candy,
right?
Trying not to fall asleep. Once you mature a little bit and you understand what's going on, then you really feel convicted, like you were talking about with Pastor Mason, and he hits you in the gut. That's that conviction, and I think we all need that. But
I mean, you're exactly right, and I just think one of the things that definitely that you considered and that you think about is whenever the Pastor Dwight, he did say, he's like, hey, some of you guys, are the people that you're hanging with on Saturday night, are they the same people you're going to church with on Sunday? Is there a big difference in that? And I was like, man, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I mean, there is, and some of my friends, grow spiritually, but then some of them aren't. I mean, I wouldn't say that they don't believe in God, but they're not into the church. They don't, but so
I would say that's pretty typical. I know a lot of my friends.
Absolutely.
I've been involved in the church for a long time, but I didn't really have the impact I wanted to have with some of my close friends. And then I might have impact somebody I don't know, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But I feel like someone I've known for 20 years, I probably should have a little bit more impact on them. But some other people look at my platform of baseball and all that, and it might make a bigger impact as opposed to my friends who have known me for all my mistakes I've made and know me for who I really am and don't put me on a pedestal.
No, you're absolutely right. And I even think that small Bible studies are that's probably my favorite thing to do. Even whenever it was just me and my, grandma would do it on Wednesday, and my grandfather would join us whenever he wasn't at his church doing something. But just, getting together with the small, I feel like that's more beneficial. I think it's all beneficial, but sometimes whenever you go to the church, I go to a big church in New Point, there's, a ton of people, then you hear the message, and then you kind of leave, and then you kind of don't even really discuss it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, well, I would love this, Perce, what was your take on that message from Pastor Dwight? Sure. Let me just see if we're kind of on the same page, or,
Yeah. There's a lot of resources out there. And me and my wife, we do the YouVersion Bible. So obviously the church I go to is First Christian Church with Pastor Jim Borton, and
Great guy.
Yeah, and he's part of the Philly program, so I don't like that part of him. But
no, he's awesome.
But and then Jamie Blickensderfer, who is a Doverite. Mm-hmm. He actually played with my brother. He was part of Coach's first teams when he came down here. Mm-hmm. But I would say, making sure that church is church. So one thing church doesn't have to be the big building, with a whole bunch of people. Church is 2 people gathering, going over the Bible. Exactly. Or just talking about Jesus or God. It's all that. And I'm a part of a small group, and, we do these. I'm trying to spread the word of this thing called a Rooted. Mm-hmm. And, if anyone wants detail, you can, I guess hit me up on any of my socials about that. But it's a process that is guaranteed to bring you closer to God. There's no way around it, unless you obviously just don't try. But
no, absolutely, that's something that you should share with me. Yeah, and that's what I say is you just got to find the right fit for you. I think, churches, there's all different types, and like New Point, they have kind of like what you want to call before the concert kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get the lights, the band, and all that. And some people aren't about it. Music's too loud. That isn't what. And some people really like it. And I just say you got to just find what's best for you. And I think it's to attract more of a younger crowd. Yeah, of course. Bring them more in, and it obviously does. It interests me and stuff. But then I go to my grandma's church, and they do good, but it's definitely a little different.
For sure.
I mean, you got a couple people up in the choir singing. And that's cool. I mean, they do a great job as well. But
yeah, well, I mean, I think that's where the churches are moving toward nowadays. But no, I just I want to, I guess, wrap it up and say thank you for coming by on episode 1. What is it called again? No, 99 mile an hour with me. Just in case you guys don't know, I never hit 100, so that's the title, the fastest fastball ever thrown. Even though I tried, my cousin bet me one time $1,000. This when I was in the minor leagues, not making anything. Bet me $1,000 if I would hit 100, and this when I was playing for the Columbus Clippers, and I tried as hard as I could, and I did not. But 99 will do. So. But I do like to give Josh all the credit for that title. But
no, that is a great name. I like it. I just appreciate it, and it was awesome.
But I guess I'll start with just saying, like, a lot of the media, kids growing up, you watch all these Disney movies with the prince and the princess or whatever falling in love, and it's just they never really show the hard work and the stuff you do after the fact. And listen to Rob, was that yesterday morning?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
That's COVID talking. Yesterday morning, listen to his service online. He basically said the quote that I've been trying to tell a lot of my friends who are getting married and stuff now, is love is not like a feeling like, oh, I love this person. It's a choice, and that obviously direct correlates with the relationship with God, because obviously love is obviously not a feeling with God, or he would have disowned us a long time ago, because he knows we're going to mess up. He knows what we're going to do down the road. He knows we're going to just mess up, and he still chooses to love us because it's a choice. So the one thing I try to make sure, and I'm lucky with Krista. We kind of knew that early on. We got to get past the warm and fuzzies, talking on the phone all the time, all that good stuff, and make it to the real love. I'm gonna call it. Where you know what her flaws are, girls fart, stuff like that.
They do.
Yes, and
trust me, they do.
We do too, and they still have to love us.
Yes,
so.
Exactly.
To you, Kaylee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just how it goes, and the quicker you figure that out, I think the better, and the better husband you will be in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, the love is a choice, because it's whenever you're faced with, okay, this is something that I want to do right now, whatever it is. And then she says, well, could you do this for me? Or that she wants you to do something else other than what it is that you want to do on your agenda. And you decide, all right, I'm going to do that because I love her. Yeah. I mean, because I'm going to do it for her. And, it is a choice. And whenever you find that person that you say, and I want to make that choice every day for you, that's where it's at.
Yeah, and it's definitely a compromise on both ends. I mean, obviously the saying is happy wife, happy life. But I mean, if you have a strong relationship, then there's sacrifices on both ends. And I will say, I don't know if Crystal will agree, but we'll have her on here later at a different time. I will say that I think I choose to make the smaller sacrifices more often, but the sacrifices she has made are humongous. So my number might be higher, but the volume of the sacrifice she has made is like ginormous compared.
Oh, absolutely. And I just think that's just mostly like all women. I mean, they just have that instinct, that mother wife instinct, you know. All good women, and all women are good. You know, there are some. But to another point is like, yeah, and that Kaylee's the exact same way. I mean, she's my best friend. She would do anything, for me, and that's why I need to hurry up with getting this process going.
You sure you want to do this podcast?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But she, like you said, the sacrifices and everything that she just does is just definitely way
next level.
The meaning. You're just like, oh, I can't believe he did. And then you like, well, that little small thing I did, that's just that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. That little thing, like, all right, guess I'll take out the trash.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Or like,
I mean, there's been a couple times that I've had to put my foot down.
Yeah.
But it's only been 2 times, and I think I've been with her 14 years. So,
wow. Yeah, and you just slept on the couch that night.
Yeah, you got it. But I just think it's important that everybody is aware of that because I think that's why we have a lot of breakups and stuff like that. Just because people don't realize what a relationship really is, and it's it's portrayed one way. But in real life, I mean, I guess you can watch, I guess The Notebook would be somewhat of a good, I know we're all men here and we haven't watched that movie.
Notebook's always a good classic.
Starting to sound
Yeah, Notebook's always a classic. But
well, we've all seen it, of course.
Yeah. And the Titanic. I mean,
What's the Titanic? I'm joking.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I definitely think what me and Kaylee are striving on. That's why we click. Obviously, we bump heads sometimes, but we, keep God in our relationship, and that's the most important thing. Is my grandma always says like, hey, when you and Kaylee, just as long as you guys keep God in your relationship and keep that relationship strong, then you guys can conquer anything that you want to conquer. And I truly believe that. And I know both of you guys are married, so you're way ahead of the game on me. And Perci, you guys go to church as well. And obviously, Josh, we're at your church now. So I'm just saying, so you guys are doing the great things. And I think you guys are both happily married as well. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. For sure, man. I'm as happy as I can be. Now, I said, I might have to meet your grandma here, Jamal. Because my grandmother was... She was top notch, and a lot of my dad woke up so early to work. My dad was a grinder, so a lot of times I was just like, Dad, I'm gonna go stay with grandma, so I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. So I spent a lot of time with my grandma, and she's her and my Aunt Susie were the first people that were like, you're going to church whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. And I was in there, in their church, First Baptist Church.
Where's your Bible at, Percy?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Chris Lowry.
Yeah.
It was like the model church that I thought I would go to for the rest of my life. Black preacher, screaming, showing a lot of passion. Yeah. And, the choir behind them, it's something about a choir. When people sing together, it just gets me. So, but now the church I go to, it's a little different. It's predominantly white. I think, I'm the only black person there.
Yeah, you're the only black person that's there.
But I learned to understand that worship and all that is not about me. Like, I'm worshiping God. I don't have to like this. It's not going to be the song that I play on my, on Spotify, but I've grown to like the songs now, but I know I'm praising God. So it's not about, oh man, this song, But we have a great band. We got, our worship leader is Nathan Omart, and he's changed my mind. You know, I mean, there were great people before him, but he came and he changed my mind. Now
He
I'm
got
like
some
rocking.
pipes?
Yeah,
Can he
and I got I got his playlist that he makes on
Nice.
Spotify. So
All right.
you know, he chose me what songs to.
Sunday morning shower, is that what's jamming?
Oh nah. You know, when I'm in the shower, I'm singing the R&B songs, and R&B is my favorite genre, and the gospel. You know, Kirk Franklin, that type of stuff. You know, I don't know if that's Josh's and your Jamal, y'all cup of tea, but I don't think there is a
Josh,
better.
what's your favorite Christian band? Like, what do you like?
My favorite Christian band?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know.
I was gonna say it's kind of hard. I mean, I have Christian rappers I listen to, like Andy Mineo, Lecrae. I listen to Trip Lee. Another one is Tadashi. All these artists, I don't know if you guys heard of them, but y'all need to it will. At first, you listen to them like this is not Christian until the lyrics come, and you're like, oh, okay, dang, yeah, this is nice. And I've been listening to those guys since 2011. That's when I guess I can share this real quick. When I woke up, so I had been going to church and been, you know, having a relationship with God for a long time. But then in 2011, something, I don't know what happened. I just woke up and I said, you know what? I'm changing my life. I'm a cut out secular music. And Jamal, if you don't know what secular means, that just means, you know, anti. But I'm gonna cut that out, and I'm just gonna focus on God. So then I was at my top peak, you know, because when you're in a relationship with God, you go through peaks and valleys, just like real life relationships. And I woke up this morning, I was just like, I'm changing my life. And I called my mom and my sisters, because by that point, my dad had passed already, because I was playing professional baseball. This is my second year playing professional baseball. And my sister was like, I prayed that you wouldn't, you know, get away from God, that you wouldn't join the Illuminati and all this stuff. And I was like, what? So I was like, okay, that's where it came from. My sister prayed, so maybe that's what happened.
Absolutely.
And ever since then, you know, obviously we fall. We're humans. We're not perfect. And obviously playing baseball and all these these locker rooms I'm in, I hear, you know, Lil Wayne and all that stuff. So, you know, it gets in there, and of course it sounds good. So sometimes it might find its way to my Spotify playlist. But
'cause you got to fit in, right?
yeah. Well, I can't be this old fart, you know.
Yeah,
Towards the end of my career, I turned into that, even though I was only 27, 28.
They're like, first he's a
Perci, you never heard of Lil Uzi or Lil? Like, I'm like, did they just put any word after Lil and just start rapping? But no, I never heard of these dudes. So when I hear them, I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. It's just weird to hear the music change, because I grew up on Tupac and that stuff, and R. Kelly. That's the last time I say his name. And and just R&B music, that's been my thing. So and my dad had a different genre of music, so he was more of that funk. Yeah, y'all don't know about that funk, but no, yeah, man. This was great, man. Josh, you might have to, you know, chip in every once in a while. You know, get a microphone.
I'm sorry. I listened to you guys the first time without talking, so I just get used to listening to you guys talking.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. I was like, hey, should we include Josh? So I think from now on,
always include Josh.
Yeah. We gotta have him in there. We gotta have him in there.
Has the experience and
and he knows me, you know, more than, you know, some people would. So
yeah, my 1 month of experience, to tell you what, it's professional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Josh, what was it like going to high school with Perci Gardner?
Oh hell,
Man, how about growing up with Perci Gardner?
Yeah.
I was gonna say we played baseball. I think when I was 12. What team did you play for in Little League?
I know it was on. Oh, it was custom wood design.
Yeah,
Classic.
custom wood design and Coach Harmon.
Yeah, that might have been when. That's probably when I first met you.
Yeah. Because I was, you were 10 and I was 11, or
yeah, probably
somewhere around there. I don't know. Or you were 9 and I was 10. One of the two. That's crazy. I didn't know you knew me that early.
Mm-hmm. Because I was older in my class.
Oh, okay.
So I always ended up getting lumped up with you guys in your class. I hardly ever played ball with people that I actually went to school with in my grade.
Oh, maybe Josh should talk. He might know more than I thought. No, I'm joking.
No, I got hit with a couple fastballs. Yeah.
Just a couple.
Yeah, those sucked.
Yeah, I was a little wild.
I would have
My whole career. Even when I was with the Indians, no.
I would have gotten a batter's box. sling the dirt around a little bit, put my hands up, point to the fence.
If at 12, you would have probably been what, 3 foot, 40 pounds?
No,
I was bigger than everybody too.
Hey, I was the same height I am now. I was like,
oh, you were a puberty Pete, huh?
yeah, I was big.
Wow.
I had abs, muscles, and everything.
Oh my gosh. See, I was big, but I didn't have all that. You know, I didn't have armpit hair and stuff like that. This one Jamal was out here, huh? So you had muscles and stuff?
I was fit.
That's why it wasn't fair in Pee Wee and stuff.
No, that's why they had to always.
I had a couple of friends like that.
They always said I was like older, which I was the oldest in my class, but
it wasn't like you were Danny Almonte in the Little League World Series, were you? 14 playing with 11, 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I got to, right?
I forgot about that.
But
I'll never forget that. No.
But that's what you got to do with Little Purse. I mean, hold him back.
Oh, he can't be held back anymore. We already held him.
Good.
When he was early, he had just turned 5 and wouldn't have been eligible for kindergarten, but
good.
They want him to go back to preschool. And we're like, nah, he's going to kindergarten. He'll just go in there for 2 years. So
yeah, just hold him back. So he's one of the older ones in the class, and
yeah, it's all about sports, man.
It is.
I know. I was normal, like my age group, but Krista wasn't. And you said were you born in 88?
89.
Oh, okay. So you still were young. Yeah. Okay. Nice. And you graduated 08?
08. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Wow.
So your wife's from Dover too?
She's she grew up in Philly, but went to school at Central.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Catholic.
Oh, the Saints.
Yeah.
PCC.
Now, I think I asked you this before, Josh. Are you guys both non-denominational, or has she continued with her Catholic belief, or you guys haven't really?
Yeah, so there's a little, no, that's all good. It's all good. It's a little bit of a story. So
nice.
Yeah, so when I met her, actually, well, and I do want to get into this with you because how long were you with Krista before you got married?
8 years.
8 years. Okay, I was with Stephanie for 2 or 3 months before we got engaged.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's what.
Yep.
He said, "Yep." Oh boy.
But we were engaged for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of those things where
we equaled it out.
Yeah, we were older. I was 23 or 24 when we met, and I dated plenty of people and just wrong person after wrong person after wrong person. Not because they're bad people, just because we just weren't right for each other. You know. So
absolutely.
And when you finally find that right person, it's like, okay, well, this is it then, right? And she had done the same thing. We were just like, yeah, okay, cool. So, yeah. Most people would think you get kind of crazy asking a girl after a couple months, you want to get married? And she'd probably look at you like, no, no, you're crazy. And
not if you watch Frozen.
She was all about it.
Yeah, she was. And it wasn't like a weird, like all about it. Like we were both we just knew that this was what it was supposed to be. So, but the 2 years really helped solidify that though, because it's plenty of time for that honeymoon stage to go away first, Right, and then you get to the real nitty gritties of the relationship and the flaws of each other, because we've all got flaws, and it's all right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
but yeah. So she was Catholic, grew up Catholic, and everything. So I've been, honestly, just to give you a little insight, I just got back into coming to church this year.
Oh, nice.
I haven't gone to church regularly since, I don't know, early high school, maybe late middle school.
All right.
But never got away from like a relationship with God, just got away from church.
Yeah.
So we've talked about that on the other podcast too. Mm-hmm. So it's been a different experience for me, just trying to find my way. But anyway, when I met her, so I was like, I'm going to start going to Catholic church with her, my future wife. Why not? I'm not going to a church. So what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
All right.
Don't listen. Just
So I did that for, I don't know. I think we did that for a couple years, and then it was like as soon as we got married, we kind of just stopped going all together. So I wasn't going to church at all. She quit going to church too, and she got real busy with work, and then she started going back to school. So just one thing after the next, just got away from it. Once you do that, it's kind of hard to get back.
Mm-hmm.
So. But luckily, I was real good friends with Kyle Schweitzer, who's the other guy who works on the podcast network with me, and he's been going here to used to be Dover Foursquare forever, I think, his whole life.
Yeah.
So ever since he was born, and then they switched the branding over. They became the Summit. Pastor Rob came in, and I knew Rob a little bit through Kyle before he was the pastor. And then I came in and listened to a couple messages, and I'm like, wow, this is what I believe. Like the way he was explaining everything, I'm like, this is connecting with me. So I just started getting more involved here, and one thing led to the next. And now we're doing live streaming every Sunday and coming in, doing all the media work for them, all the marketing. And it's a lot of fun.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
The other podcast, I mean, it's good. It's been really good.
So, I mean, that's just crazy because that's like, you know, you took, like you said, you took your break from church, you and your wife, and then how God just works like that, man. There's a reason why he brought you back into the church, brought you here. I mean, and Kyle, and then you guys got this equipment, and you guys are doing great things with the podcast stuff, how popular it is nowadays, and now you guys are speaking on the, you know, sermon on Sunday, and it's great, man. I think there's you might not officially know why, but there's definitely going to be something that's going to hit you, and you're going to say, man, that's right, I'm glad that I'm back in the church. There was a reason why I did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. That's how God works.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily on our plan, you know, but hey, in due time.
Well, we just did a podcast actually with Pastor Rob, and he was talking about destiny and how every person has a God set destiny that you don't change.
Yeah.
So you're destined for something in your life, and nothing you do in your life changes that destiny. It's just whether or not you're going to actively pursue it. So you might make a wrong decision, or, you know, make a bad choice, or fall into, you know, some people, they fall into like an addiction or whatever, but it doesn't mean your destiny has changed. It just means you took a detour.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, wow, that's a good way to phrase that. So it's like, you know, you got a GPS and you take a wrong turn, it's just rerouting you back to your path to get to where you're going. But
okay. All right, Pastor Rob.
That's pretty cool. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, this has been, you know, I kind of like this. I might just start recording all my conversations.
Man, that's what it's all about. This one was just off the cuff too. I like that. So that's
So,
nice.
But Jamal, you know, he looks like he's got some business to take care of. Got customers emailing him and left and right. Customer, hey Jamal, we need this. Hey Jamal, we need that. So
actually, it's just, you know, our manager emailing me.
Throw him under the bus. We'll say it's Steve. No. But but like I said, I appreciate having you, Josh. Appreciate you doing everything you do with the next level and the Get Level Productions. You know, hopefully I can be involved with that if I get my skills up.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. But man, the things you're doing, you know, let me use this equipment and come over here. Good thing it's really close to my house. It's a blessing, and I'm pretty sure I've wanted to do a podcast for a long time. So, you know, hopefully I can bring some information to people. And my guest, obviously Jamal, he brought some information with him today. And whoever my next guest will be, hopefully, you know, they don't feel too intimidated to try to top Jamal.
All right. No, this was great. I appreciate it. And anytime, I will always love to come back and talk. It was good.
We'll definitely have you back. Don't you worry. But until then, I got to come up with a good outro.
Until then, stay safe. Stay inside. Wash your hands.
Exactly. Yeah, stay safe, and you know, don't do what we're doing. Now, how far are we apart? Oh.
That's 6 feet.
Yeah, okay.
That's totally 6 feet.
Yeah, definitely totally. 6 feet. But I guess you can find this on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes. What else is there? Everything. Just anywhere you can find it. And of course, you can follow Jamal. What's your social, Jamal? What do you care about? Instagram, Twitter?
Well, I don't have an Instagram. I don't even have a Facebook. I just do Jamal.
I just do me.
Twitter. Jamal_Johnson 5.
Okay, Jamal_ Johnson 5. Make sure you follow him there. And then if you want to, you know, appear or be a guest on this podcast, you can reach out to me or Josh. My Twitter is Perci Garner, PerciGarner. My Instagram is pgarner4, PGARNER4, and Facebook is just my name. So just reach out to me if you want to be on the show. I don't have any criteria right now. I just want to talk about anything that's on your mind and that can help people. As long as if they can hear the information applied to their life, we would love to have you on. Now I'm getting into my late night voice. But no, again, thanks Jamal, thanks Josh, and we'll see you. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Say me casa, su casa. It feel like Casablanca.